Tribal tattoos often reflect a person's identity, social status, spiritual beliefs, and connection to the community. Each tribe has its own unique style, methods, and designs, all deeply rooted in cultural traditions. Let us explore the meanings behind the tattoos of the Sangtam tribe of Nagaland and the Apatani tribe from Arunachal Pradesh. The legend of Tetyo. Long ago, in the village of Sanpuri, a girl was assigned by her parents to take care of the crops in the field. She would shout, "Hey, hey," as soon as she reached the field to scare away wild animals and birds, keeping the crops safe. One day, however, a strange voice was heard saying, "Tsutsuke nyongpe," which means, "That is my wife." Not taking it seriously, she did not tell her parents, but the voice kept answering every time she would shout. Eventually, the girl told her parents about it. When her parents heard, they advised her, "Tomorrow, when you call out in the fields, as you always do, we will hide behind the bushes and watch to discover who the voice really is." The next day, when the girl shouted, the voice responded to the girl again, and her parents, now determined, challenged the voice to reveal itself. To their surprise, the voice appeared disguised in a majestic royal king's attire, taking the form of a human. But in truth, it was a giant serpent named Tetyo. Her parents agreed to marry their daughter to the king and asked him for a stag as dowry. The newly married couple lived happily in the field. A year later, they had a baby, but the child was kept hidden from the public. Her parents repeatedly requested to see their grandchild, but their requests were always denied. One fine day, the parents decided to search for the baby themselves. When they finally saw the child, they were amazed to find a baby snake crawling out of a bamboo basket. Her parents gently petted the baby snake, and because it was meant to be kept a secret and never exposed, the snake turned blind and died. One evening, Tetyo and his wife lit a huge fire in the house and slept next to the fire. When sleeping, Tetyo unknowingly pushed his wife into the flames, causing her to burn to death. Devastated by her death, Tetyo the serpent left their home and moved to Lungmula forest. After Tetyo disappeared, the girl's parents started to search for him. They finally found him, transformed back into a giant serpent, coiled tightly atop a huge tree. The girl's parents quickly notified the people of Sanpuri. Both young and old worked together to try and bring down Tetyo, but failed. Meanwhile, there was a man named Wangsen, an extraordinary individual who had been absent during the search. The next day, when Wangsen arrived, he easily pulled down and killed Tetyo effortlessly. Soon, the people of Sanpuri began admiring the unique design of Tetyo and started to tattoo it on their faces, legs, and arms. The news of the Tayak or tattoo design quickly spread to the neighboring tribes who came to copy the design. However, by the time they arrived, the body of the dead serpent had swollen. They still copied the design, though it turned out rough and slightly larger, unlike the people from Sanpuri. As a result, the Thuyak of Tetyo, the giant serpent, spread far and wide among the neighboring tribes. The Apatani tribe of Arunachal Pradesh live in Zero Valley, with a population of around 30,000 spread across 35 villages. The women are well known for wearing nose plugs called yaping hulo and tattoos called tepe. These tattoos are done by elderly women when an Apatani girl turns about 10 years old. There are many folk tales about the origin and the reason for these tattoos and nose plugs. Today, we will narrate two of the most common stories passed down through generations. Ami Nido Benyi. In the beautiful Zero Valley, there lived a girl named Ami Nido Benyi, who was more beautiful than the valley itself. She was not only physically beautiful, but also kind and caring. She was an ideal woman, hardworking in the fields, and excellent at household chores. She was the eldest child of her family, and she had many younger brothers and sisters. One day, she decided, I will not get married early, but instead, I shall help my parents raise my younger siblings. As time went by, unfortunately, her parents passed away, leaving her to take care of her siblings. She lovingly raised them and helped each of them get married. Once all her siblings were married and settled, she found herself alone. She began to think about settling down, but she was too old to be married. She had spent all her years caring for her siblings, and now she was too old to start her own family. She began to cry bitterly and wondered what would happen to me now. She wished for a home and a family of her own. One night, she prayed to the Almighty Donipolo, asking, what sin have I committed? I spent all my years lovingly raising my siblings. Is this the result of my love and dedication? She cried. Show me a way. After saying this, she fell asleep. That night, the Almighty Donipolo appeared in her dream and said, I am very pleased with your actions. You have done no wrong by caring for your younger siblings. You will not be punished but rewarded. I will show you a way. Tattoo your face and your wrinkles will vanish. Your fertility will also return. And if you want many cattle, pierce your nose and wear a nose plug. When she woke up in the morning, she thought to herself, that was an unusual dream. But then, she decided to take it seriously. She followed all the instructions and soon, the wrinkles on her face vanished. She also became the owner of many cattle. It is said that her beauty became the talk of the Zero Valley. She even received a proposal from a handsome man and was happily married to him. As time went by, Amidono gave birth to a son named Kalosh, and many years later, Kalosh had a son named Pisangut. One day, as Pisangut was walking in the jungle, he came across pine trees and admired their shape and texture. He decided to visit a tattoo artist and requested that the design be tattooed on his chin. This is why the men of the Apatani tribe have a T-shaped tattoo on their chin. The other popular folktale speaks about how the Apatani people faced frequent attacks from their neighboring tribes. The men who died in these battles returned to their homes as spirits, unable to recognize their own deaths. They tried to connect with their wives, but the wives could not see them. Feeling ignored, the spirits began to disturb the families, causing accidents and fear. The families sought help from the shaman, the Apatani priest. The priest advised the woman, tattoo your faces to make yourselves unrecognizable to the spirits. This way, the spirits would not be able to recognize you and depart. The woman started to tattoo a thick straight line drawn from the forehead to the tip of their nose, and 5 straight lines drawn on the chin. Over time, what began as a protective measure evolved into a cultural symbol. What was once seen as a form of ugliness gradually became a symbol of beauty, pride, and fertility. But now, the tradition has almost died out. In the early 1970s, the government banned the nose plugs and tattoos since they cause problems for women who go into the city looking for jobs. According to a report by the New Indian Express, Narang Yamyang is the last Apatani woman to get a face tattoo. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to discover more enchanting tales and rich traditions from the comfort of your home.